Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us today. We are excited to have you as a guest during our Educators in Action chat. Today, we'll be covering some of the resources, materials, professional development opportunities, and ways to get involved with your CTE community and the ways that ACTE can support you. For this Educators in Action chat, we'll be focusing on Regions 1 and Region 3, which you'll learn a little bit more about during our presentation. Today we have Cindy Stover, who is going to be our educator in action, speaking about some of her experiences with ACTE and with our programs and professional development opportunities and how that's kind of helped to fill, her resume as well as add to her stint within CTE. Cindy, the floor is all yours.
Hi, I'm glad to be with you today, and being involved in my state association and the National ACTE is one of my favorite things to talk about because I have found it through the years to be very rewarding. So I'm going to kind of give you a quick overview of some of the reasons that you should consider joining and getting involved. I am from Region 3. My division is the Administration Division. In just a minute, I unplugged my phone. I was a CTE educator for 32 years, and I am technically retired now, but I am serving as the Illinois ACTE Executive Director, and I've been involved with Region 3 and the Admin Division for the past few years. So what is ACTE? ACTE is divided into 5 regions. And again, I'm in Region 3, and so this call today is for Region 2 and 3. And originally, when these divisions were made, it was based on membership, because you can see how like Region 5 is really huge and Region 3 is kind of small, but it was based on number of members. There is a board of directors, and the president, past president, president-elect are all elected by the full membership. And then there's 5 region vice presidents, and they are each elected by their region. And then we have, I think, 12 divisions, 8, 9, 10, 11 divisions. And each of them also has a vice president, and they are elected by their division. And I've had the pleasure of serving on the board with many of these people, and they're just wonderful people to get to know. And even though they live all over the country, it's always very exciting to see them at our national conferences. The board is responsible for developing a strategic plan, and I was involved in the strategic planning while I was on the board. And it does evolve around innovation, strategic partnerships, advocacy and awareness, professional and leadership development, and member value and engagement. And we do cover all of our members in this, from administrators to the business connections to our middle school and to all of our teachers. And we also are working on the teacher pipeline because of the shortage of career and tech ed teachers that we have. And we also have a mission to advance CTE with our school counselors, nonprofit organizations. There are many business and industry partners, students. We have student involvement, and we do work with a lot of federal and state organizations. And the benefits of ACTE as far as resources and publications and other opportunities. Techniques is a magazine. I think it's published every other month. It's excellent. Each magazine has a theme, and as members, you're welcome to write for the magazine on whatever the theme is for that edition. And there's blogs, there are digital publications, there's a job bank, and a lot of rich content inside. And I really enjoy reading articles from practitioners, and once in a while they're from Illinois too, so that makes it more exciting that one of our teachers got published in the Techniques magazine. Policy and research resources. I think this is an area that ACTE really excels, and I do use their policy and advocacy resources quite often. There is a CTE Policy Watch blog. Anything that, I mean, they just day in, day out, they are watching what's going on the Hill in Washington, D.C., and how it might have an impact on CTE. The Action Center, ACTE sends out legislative alerts when they need for us to contact our senators or our representatives, and the Action Center is so easy to use. You put your name and your zip code in and it will bring up your senator, it brings up your representative. There's even a sample letter that you can use. You can use it just as it is, or you can reword it a little bit to make it more personal. And then you click a button and these correspondences, just like that, they go to the senator and the representative, and sometimes even the president based on what the action is. There's a lot of briefs on researches and best practices. And there's also an online advocacy toolkit. And again, I have used it extensively. So as far as advocacy, there's just a ton of really good resources on the website. There's also a lot of resources for high quality CTE programs, self-evaluation forms. There is just a whole center on that, and there are forms you can print, and there are publications, there are webinars, all kinds of things so that each teacher can prepare to have a high quality CTE program. Additional resources, and especially the last few months, there's been a lot of online seminars and webinars covering pertinent issues, and right now one of those is virtual learning and e-learning. There's a job bank if you're interested in finding a new career opportunity. Forrest T. Jones Insurance Company, they do have a great partnership with ACTE, and I know for Illinois, that is where we get our professional liability insurance, and it's something that we just don't want to be without, but we're very grateful for that partnership. And then there's also an online bookstore with a lot of resources for CTE. And then there's a section just for middle school for podcasts, webinars, and resources. Membership in ACTE, I think it is very reasonable. Professional membership, that's for anybody that is currently active working in CTE, is $80. If you are a student, college student, it is free. Retirees are $31 for individual. And then there's an international, which is open to people outside the US, is $60. There are also education institutions. And I think if your educational institution, everybody in it is a member, you get an award. There's a national affiliate for nonprofits who are supporting CTE. And then for our business and industry partners, we have a corporate membership of $1,200. So how to get involved. And I hope those of you who are on the call today are hoping to get involved. Some of the first steps that you could take if you're not already involved at your state level or the national level is to seek out a committee or a task force. And the board of directors has task forces and committees, as does your region and also your division. There's professional leadership programs, and one of them is the fellowship program. And a lot of the current board members have gone through the fellowship program because you learn a lot about leadership, professional development, and advocacy. And then there's the ACTE Lead, which is leadership development, and ACT Connect, which is offered at the ACTE region conferences. The Fellows Program and ACTE Lead, those are both offered at ACTE and National Policy Seminar, and the Fellows Program also has monthly calls that you have to participate in. And then there's the new Post-Secondary Leadership Success Program, and again, it has monthly calls. They also meet at NPS and at Career Tech Vision, and they have a lot of other assignments that they have to do every month in between sessions. Then there is the ACTE State Leadership Program, and this program meets one day before NPS and one day before ACTE Vision. And again, you learn a lot about leadership development, how a state association works, great networking, great resources and tools. All of those, great networking and great resources and tools. The post-secondary leadership opportunity is fairly new. This is the second year for this program, and participants in this earn a $4,000 stipend. They have their travel expenses paid to 4 in-person workshops, and I should clarify that by saying if the workshops actually occur, because I know NPS did not occur in person, they are eligible to earn 2 semester hours of graduate credit. They participate in monthly online seminars, and they meet a lot of national and state post-secondary CTE officials. And you can find out more information about the post-secondary leadership by going to their website, which is posted here on this slide. And I think these slides will be available to you, and this session's recorded if you need to go back and look for information. We also have some student design contests, and each year there's a trophy design contest, and the winning team gets a $1,000 scholarship. Their school also gets a free 1-year lease of a 3D printer. They get their travel paid to Career Tech Vision, which this year will be in Nashville, and they are recognized at the ACTE Excellence Awards Gala, and they're also recognized in ACTE's promotional materials. And the deadline for submission is June 30th. And this is always really exciting at the awards banquet when you have students up there who are excelling in their schoolwork and have designed this trophy that's going to be given to every ACTE National Award winner. It's just really nice seeing them up on stage and listening to them talk about their project. Okay, and that brings me to one of my favorite events, which is the ACTE Recognition and Awards. Every year, ACTE recognizes extraordinary educators in CTE. 10 winners are recognized at the annual conference. They are each given a student design trophy. CareerSafe Safety Educator of the Year is also sponsored by CareerSafe. And then there's also Business Education Partnership and a Champion for CTE award. And the award nominees, they start out at their state level, and then they have moved to the region level, and then the region level are the ones that are nominated then for the national level. And it's always very exciting to have someone from your region or even your state to receive an award. Educators in Action is another way to get involved, and there's a multitude of things you can do in Educators in Action. If you have just a little bit of time, or if you have a lot of time, Educators in Action will find something for you to do. And the purpose of Educators in Action is really to promote CTE to all CTE educators, trying to improve and modernize our perception. You can contribute to blogs, you can contribute to professional development. We like for you, if you're a member, to advocate, and then just lead and try to get people involved in advisory groups, task forces, running for board positions. Sometimes you might just volunteer to be a resource for somebody in your field, to a new teacher or a new program. So again, a lot of opportunities, even if you just have a small amount of time. Networking, which we all like to do. We all like to network. There's a lot of networking opportunities with ACTE, and one of them is to attend their premier event, which is Career Tech Vision. This year, it's December 2nd through the 5th in Nashville, Tennessee. The early bird registration has been extended to August 31st. There's always very inspiring keynote speakers, and some of them are famous keynote speakers we've had. 300 different breakout sessions, a lot of workshops, tours, a huge Career Tech Expo with all kinds of vendors, all kinds of resources available in the Career Pavilion and the Career Tech Expo. It's one of my favorite conferences. It always has been. First time I went to it, I'd been teaching for several years, and after I went to it, it's like my all-time favorite conference every year. It's excellent. ACT does a wonderful job putting on that conference. Annual region conferences. My Region 3 conference is one of my favorite conferences also, but first we'll talk about Region 1. It is scheduled in 2021 in April in the Boston area, Boston, Massachusetts. Region 3 will be next year in Minnesota in June of 2021. And our Region 3 conference is in June after school's out, grades are turned in, and it's just a wonderful time to kind of relax but yet learn and network, and a good way to start your summer off right. So always an enjoyable conference. Other signature events for CTE professionals is the National Policy Seminar. And I say that they're all my favorites, I guess, because I just love going to the National Policy Seminar and going up on the Hill and meeting with my senator and representatives and or their representatives to discuss very important career and technical education issues. Next year, it will be March 22nd through March 24th. And I believe it will be at the Crystal Gateway Marriott again in Arlington. I think we just had our first annual work-based learning conference in 2020. It was in April and it was scheduled to be in person, but ACTE and the coordinator of that acted quickly and it was reduced to a one-day conference, but over 500 people attended this virtual one-day conference on work-based learning. And then we have Leading the Educational Revolution, kind of an innovative type conference, June 9th through 12th in Cincinnati. And I do believe at this point that is still on for an in-person conference, isn't it, Sharisa?
This is the Leading the Revolution?
Yes.
As of yet, I still have them happening face-to-face. I
That's
can look at the website.
Yes, I think last I heard too that they're still planning to have that face-to-face. And then the last one is the best practices, and that one is going to be in October. I think, I can't see my slide, but I think it's in Massachusetts. And as of this point in time, it is still scheduled to be in person, as is Career Tech Vision in Nashville. There are all kinds of online learning resources, and ACTE keeps a running list every day of new resources for e-learning. Some of them, one of the main ones is Skills to Succeed by Accenture. And we did have Accenture come to our conference in February. And in Illinois, we were very fortunate that we had our conference early in February. So we did not have to worry about the coronavirus at that time. But a few people that attended the Accenture session said it was just wonderful. They really enjoyed it. And so they do have some kind of promotion going. There's a $1,000 incentive program, and you can learn more about that on the website listed here. There's 3 courses, 36 modules, and they're each 15 to 30 minutes. And these are to help your students build career-ready skills. Resources for professionals. There's the CTE Learn, which is a collection of 150 self-paced courses for CTE professionals. For each course, you get 4 hours of continuing education credits. And then right now, there are currently a lot of free resources available through the end of May due to the coronavirus. Additional resources for professionals are CTE distance learning lesson plans. There's a lot of division webinars that have been recorded, and there's a lot of distance learning resources listed. And again, ACTE keeps that updated as they find out new resources, and many of them are free resources at this time. February is CTE month, so there we have a lot of public information that we do in February across the entire country. We ask that each school and state do Hill visits, visit with their staff and media. In Illinois, we do a CTE showcase day at our state capitol. It's not always in February. Most of the time it's in March because it seems that well, we have our conference in February and there's only so many things we can do at one time, but March and April is usually when we have our day at our state capitol. And our representatives and senators love coming down to visit our students to see the projects that they've made, and they get their blood pressure checked and all that kind of stuff from our health students. And so it's just really an enjoyable day at the state capitol. Every now and then the governor or the lieutenant governor will come down and talk with the students and get their photos taken with the students. So it's outstanding time for the students, and they're learning how to make relationships with their senator and representative. So we have a few people at the state capitol that are just really, really strong supporters of career and technical education. So one of them is Tim Kaine, you can see there in the picture. And so they always come to our NPS and look and see what the students are doing at the NPS networking session. We have a partnership with NASA. It's called NASA Hunch, Living and Working on the Moon and Beyond. And again, this is a student type contest. And they have to work on a project about understanding of living and working in extreme environments. And the winner of this also gets showcased, and I do think they get some prizes and things like that, but it's an excellent partnership with NASA. ACTE is very involved with social media. If you're interested and you're not already following them, you can follow them on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube at ACTE Career Tech, and also Instagram, and also ACTE on LinkedIn. And they do make frequent posts. So if you have any membership questions, you can contact Sharisa, and her email is here. And I thank you for your support, and would like to know if anybody has any questions for me or Sharisa at this time.
And while we are waiting to see if anyone has any questions in the chat, I do want to share some updates for the regional conference information. These were recently shared with me via division VPs. So with the Region 1 conference, it's still happening in April, but the location has changed to Grand Rapids, Michigan. And for the Region 3, they will actually be having a business meeting that's going to be taking place virtually on June 25th from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. So if you are available for either of those or you would like to check them out, please feel free to go to their websites where they do frequently update that information. So I've also put those in the chat as well as on this slide. So if there are no other questions, I just want to thank you all for joining us today. I hope that you were able to get some information about some of the resources that we have and opportunities that we have, maybe ones that you did not already know were available to you. I do want to thank Cindy so much for taking the time to speak with us today and share some of her experiences with ACTE. I have put my email in chat. If anyone has any questions, please do not feel free to bother me. That is what I'm here for. So once again, thank you. And I hope everyone has a great evening and is continuing to stay safe during all of this COVID-19 business. So you guys have a great day. Thank you so much.